Some dramas end when the screen fades to black. Others keep living quietly, hiding between the lines, refusing to let go. Queen of Tears was supposed to be fiction, a fragile, heartbreaking love story between two people learning how to hold on after breaking apart. But what fans saw between Kim Soo-hyun and Kim Ji-won felt far too real to be contained in a script. It was something raw, magnetic, and alive. And long after the final scene aired, it refused to die. That's how the shocking fan theory was born, a rumor that maybe, just maybe, the story didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling. From the very first table read, people on set noticed the strange, natural rhythm between them. There was no awkwardness, no cautious professionalism, just quiet understanding. She would look at him before speaking, as if reading his breath. He would soften whenever she smiled, like someone remembering something they weren't supposed to. Even the director once joked that he barely needed to guide them. "They already know what heartbreak looks like," he said. During filming, small moments began to slip through, fragments that felt too intimate to be acting. One night in Germany, the crew filmed under cold rain. Ji-won was shivering in her soaked costume, her lips pale, when Soo-hyun suddenly removed his coat and wrapped it around her shoulders. Cameras weren't rolling, but someone caught it on a behind-the-scenes clip. The internet exploded when it leaked. He wasn't supposed to look at her like that. Then came the rooftop scene, the one that changed everything. It was written as a farewell between husband and wife, quiet and final. But when Ji-won started crying, it wasn't the tears of her character anymore. The director hadn't called action yet. Soo-hyun moved closer, brushed a tear from her cheek, and whispered something no microphone caught. When the scene finally aired, fans felt it instantly, that invisible thread between them that no editing could erase. One post summed it up: that wasn't acting. That was remembering. From that moment, the line between real and real began to blur. Fans noticed how their gestures off camera echoed those of their characters. At press events, their eyes found each other too easily. Their laughter carried the same rhythm as in the show. During one interview, Ji-won said softly, "Sometimes your character teaches you what love is." Soo-hyun, in another, replied, "If love is real, it doesn't need a script." The words weren't coordinated, but they felt like a conversation across distance, one only they understood. The fandom turned into detectives, tracing coincidences that looked too deliberate to be random. The bracelet she wore in an episode appeared again in one of his photos. Her social post caption read, "You always find me in the rain," days after he uploaded a rainy Seoul skyline with no words. Their schedules didn't overlap publicly, yet their timelines felt intertwined. The shocking fan theory grew louder, spreading across fan pages like wildfire. They weren't just shipping characters anymore. They were protecting something that felt true. The award season that followed only fueled it further. Ji-won arrived on stage in ivory silk, luminous, graceful. In the audience, Soo-hyun watched silently, his gaze unwavering. When she thanked someone who reminded me what gentle love feels like, he smiled, small, restrained, but trembling with emotion. Fans caught the moment instantly. The clip flooded social media under one caption: "He knew she meant him." Months passed, projects changed, but echoes remained. Every new interview brought subtle parallels. She spoke about learning how to let go with love. He said, "Sometimes endings are just disguised beginnings." The internet paired their quotes like puzzle pieces. Even their silence became proof. They never denied anything. They never needed to. Then fate intervened in the only way it knows how, quietly and perfectly. A Seoul gala, filled with bright lights and restless cameras. He arrived first, composed and elegant in black velvet. She followed later, golden and soft, her presence lighting the room. When their eyes met, the crowd noise melted into static. For 1 second, they stood frozen in that same silence that once belonged to Hyunwoo and Harin. He bowed slightly, she smiled faintly, two gestures drenched in history. The photos from that night broke the internet within hours. "Look at the way he watches her," a fan wrote. "You can't fake that kind of memory." And just like that, the theory found new life. More coincidences followed, too delicate, too deliberate. She wore a silver ring shaped like a tear, identical to the one used in the drama. He filmed an ad against a backdrop identical to their wedding scene. Later, she posted a quote, "Some love stories never fade, they just change form." Days later, he uploaded, "Some endings aren't endings at all." The timing felt too exact to be random, and fans knew the story was still being told, just differently now. Behind the camera, whispers never stopped. One stylist mentioned they still sent each other small gifts. A lighting crew member claimed Soo-hyun once lingered during a shoot because the scene reminded him of her. When fans heard this, they didn't need official confirmation. They had already written the sequel in their hearts. The one-year anniversary of Queen of Tears arrived quietly, yet somehow the world remembered. Ji-won posted a white rose with the caption, "1 year later." Hours later, Soo-hyun shared a short clip of raindrops sliding down glass, captioned, "Still the same season." That night, tags trended across platforms, #Queen of Tears lives on, #the unfinished love. It wasn't gossip anymore, it was collective nostalgia, shared belief, something deeper than speculation. The story could have ended there, two actors bound forever by the memory of a love they once pretended to feel. But life had one more scene to offer. A film festival in Busan. 2 different movies. 1 red carpet. They hadn't been seen together for years, but that night, destiny forgot to keep them apart. He walked past the cameras first, nodding politely. She appeared minutes later, elegant, radiant. Their eyes met for just a moment, a flash, a pulse, a silence that felt like poetry. Someone caught it on video. Fans replayed it endlessly. There was no smile, no greeting, just that familiar gravity. One fan comment captured it best, "It's like time recognized them." The next morning, Ji-won posted a photo of sunrise over the ocean, the same view from their final Queen of Tears episode. The caption read, "Full circle." Soo-hyun's post appeared hours later, a quiet quote, "Maybe some love stories don't need cameras." The internet didn't sleep that night. Because for the first time, the rumor didn't feel like fantasy. It felt like closure wrapped in possibility, like a love that had matured quietly, privately, beautifully. People still debate it, whether it's all coincidence or something real hiding in plain sight. But maybe the answer isn't meant to be found. Maybe that's the beauty of it, the in-between. Because what fans saw wasn't just chemistry or acting. It was 2 people creating something so sincere that it left traces in real life. You can't rehearse that kind of truth. You can only feel it. And perhaps somewhere, far from the flashes and the questions, they do meet sometimes, quietly, without pretense. Maybe in a small cafe tucked in a quiet Seoul street, sharing coffee and laughter that feels familiar. Maybe they talk about the show that changed everything, how fiction blurred, how love lingered. Or maybe they don't speak of it at all. Maybe it's enough that they understand. Because even now, when reruns play late at night, when fans rewatch that rooftop scene and whisper, "Look at the way he holds her," the air still carries that ache, that sense that something too real was accidentally caught on film. Queen of Tears wasn't just a drama. It was a love letter disguised as a tragedy, a rumor dressed as destiny. And maybe, just maybe, the shocking fan theory was never about proving anything. It was about believing that somewhere between acting and truth, 2 hearts really did find each other. And though the world may never know for sure, one thing is certain: whenever their names are mentioned in the same breath, the air still changes. The story still breathes. The love still echoes. And that's how you know some scripts were never meant to end when the credits rolled. Because every time their eyes meet, whether on screen, in memory, or in rumor, it feels like the universe softly whispering, "They still remember."